you in years.
I know. I miss Yerba Buena. It's my favorite
I know.
restaurant.
Me and your father, we're gonna open a Yerba Buena together. Watch it. I'm gonna convince him, or he's gonna convince me one of these days, and we're gonna open a Yerba Buena. You'll see.
Okay. I'll be in on it too.
Yeah, you know, you guys be a supporters. How is your brother? How is your mom?
They're good. Connor's at University of Tennessee now, so he's happy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Already?
I know.
Jesus. I would love to see him. I haven't seen him in a long time. How are you still playing volleyball?
Yeah, I play club here, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
My daughter just went from basketball to volleyball now. She's in love with
Ooh.
volleyball.
How old is she?
She's 11.
Oh, nice. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
She's starting early.
Yeah. How old are you now? Like 16?
I'm 19.
Oh my God.
I know.
Wow. Time flies. I can't believe it.
I know.
So, but tell me about this project you're doing. So your father tell me you were doing something about the management or the whole thing.
Yeah.
Of Kobe and,
Well, I just switched into hospitality, so I'm taking this class. It's about like the restaurant business sort of and the hotel industry. So for this project, they wanted us to reach out to a manager, and just basically see how COVID impacted them.
Sure, absolutely. So you.
Well, before we start, is it okay if I record you?
Of course, I'm driving, so don't mind me if I.
Okay.
You know, I hope I don't have to curse on anybody.
I could edit out any bad stuff.
Can you imagine, like, you know, we're recording that whole song and start cursing a guy on the street, like, oh my God, that's you know, we're making this real, very realistic. Yeah, your father will hit me in the head.
Ooh. Okay, I guess I just have some questions.
Sure.
I guess just to start things off, could you tell me about the plaza and what you do there?
Well, yes, I'm not at the plaza anymore, but I tell you what I did while I was there. I was the assistant general manager for the Pancor, which is the number one restaurant at the plaza. The high end, the luxury restaurant.
Yeah, I remember going there.
You know, I told your father many times, you gotta bring Jam, and you know,
For
he's
tea,
like,
right?
huh?
For tea, like high tea or something?
Yeah. I told him, I said, you know, you gotta bring, you know, Julia and James for buddy. Don't tell him I said that. I think he's gonna.
Wait, so you don't? Where are you working now?
No, I'm not. I'm basically doing I'm doing a project. It has to do with food.
Ooh.
So so I'm doing a small project. And you know, it's working slowly, but you know, we're probably gonna get there eventually.
Yeah.
It's more like a street food, basically.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yum. Wait, so when did you leave the what was the restaurant called?
The plaza, the Pancor.
Oh, Pancor. Were you there when COVID hit?
Yes, I was the yes.
Was okay, so I guess so. Did the physical design of the restaurant change after like the restrictions started opening up?
No, not really. I mean, the structure is still the same. I mean, the only thing that it changed was you know, the norms of you know, how you know, the sanitary or the safety, you want to call it that way. All that changed. I mean, you know, and I think that a lot of the things that the changes is going to stay, you know, for a little while as well. You know, like we have digital menus, we have to change menus all the time. You know, the guys have to use, you know, a lot of the washing hands, sanitizers, and you know, and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm.
When you changed the menu, did you alter it in a way where you were using like not as many ingredients, or?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this in the tactical and corporate way. When this happens, when we came back to work, what happened is we knew that the for everybody, restaurants and hotels, and it was going to be gradually changing. So it's going to be growing slowly. So the menu changed considerably because it has to do with cost controls and all of that. So we couldn't actually have a full menu because we have so little customers. We didn't justify the expense, versus the how you call it, the demand. So it was just a tactical way of doing it. I mean, you cannot have a full menu. You have to start with a little menu. And also you remember how this also started it. Now, Jane, let me know if you want me to speak slowly, because I know that you're used to accents, but I have an accent as well. So, but I know you're used to it. So, but anything, just let me know, and I can repeat it, or I can go slowly, or I can change the.
No. This is fine.
Okay.
This is fine. I could hear you perfectly.
Awesome. So so you remember how it started? It started at 25%, then gradually started growing up to 75%. So so the menu wasn't the same menu. It was a menu that was also, as not just for the guests, as also the back and front of the house. We didn't have enough. We have enough staff, but we didn't. We brought the employees little by little. So, to produce a full menu, you need the whole entire kitchen, which they didn't have it. So they have to they start with, a few people in the kitchen with a very operational menu. So it was designed to be able to be produced by a few people until, to the point that now they have a full menu.
Okay. That makes sense. Were there certain, ingredients that you were like, this is too expensive to have?
No, they focus on the how can I say this? They did focus on having a high-end product because this is the plaza, and you have to make sure that the few people that were going there, they were extremely happy. So because you don't wanna open using how you can say cheap products. So they keep to keep their standards. They have a reputation to live up to. So everything they use in the small menu, they were actually all high-end ingredients.
No, that makes sense. Were there any possible?
But Jane, now that you're gonna be into the restaurant business and this thing, so that's not just the case for everybody. I mean, this is for a high-end restaurant, but a lot of the people, they did change their menus, and they start cutting costs by having getting cheaper products and stuff like that. But when you work in a high end, you have a reputation to live up to, so you cannot really do that because and this time having bad reviews about your food, it can be catastrophic. For this type of places.
Well, it's so because my friends are in this class, so one of them just did an interview, and one of the cafes, they cut out just random ingredients because it was too costly. So avocados, for example, they just stopped. They cut out every menu item with an avocado, which is so bizarre to me, which is why I was asking.
Well, you see, what happened is, so like I said, it depends on the restaurants or the cafes, and they how because imagine if they have let's say, for instance, a Mexican restaurant, and they have the guacamole, which is one of the signature dishes, and they're gonna cut it. So a restaurant like a Mexican restaurant without guacamole is not really a real Mexican restaurant, right?
Yeah.
So it can be expensive, but they're gonna have to actually buy the bullets and do it because people know it because they use a lot of the guacamole in the dishes. Like for example, they use it in the tacos. They use it in the actual guacamole. They use that in the special soup that they have. That one of the main ingredients is the guacamole. So if they cut the guacamole, they have to cut all the items that makes the Mexican restaurant. For example, we have in the plaza we have an avocado toast, which is the avocado with a soft egg and like cherry tomatoes, and it's delicious. So that's one of the things that people like. They're not gonna take it off the menu because they don't want people to ask for it if they don't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the items, you see, that's when you do probably one of the classes that you'll take eventually, how to design the menus, and that's how you got the things that work and the things that doesn't work. You're just moving around.
Wait, what was the word?
So you use when you design the menus, it's just a word, I don't remember what it was, but you will see what items work.
Oh,
what items doesn't work, and you see the items that make money and the items that actually make little money. So you have to play with all of that. And these restaurants like that cafe, by doing that, I don't think that they've been doing anything really good. In the long run, what they're gonna do is actually hurting themselves because one of the things that these New Yorkers do, they're very resentful. With a place, if they go to a place and they feel like they're not getting what they deserve or what they ask for it, people won't come back.
Yeah.
So that's why they need to redesign the menu in a way that instead of cutting things out of the items that they have that people already are familiar with, they should just cut the items completely and just redesign a menu, in a different way.
And get money in another way.
Correct.
So how I guess throughout this pandemic, at first they it's completely cut off, and then they were allowing people, but then they went back. Do you think that that was harder for the restaurants? The back and forth of it, I guess.
Yes, it is because there is no consistency, and what happened is now with the new norm that everybody has to have the vaccine card, and they must have at least one shot. It's my understanding that in New York City, I think it's like 40% of the people is still not having the shots. I think it's 40 or 60% is either or. And they haven't had haven't been vaccinated. So I was talking to a guy the other day because I went food shopping for the food cart that we're doing, and the guy was telling me that he has to turn away a party of 18 people because some of them didn't have the vaccination card.
Really?
Yeah, and he has to turn them down because if they go and check, he's going to be fined a lot of money.
Yeah. Wait, where was this?
Now the places they any restaurant, you have to have the vaccine card with you.
Oh, you do.
Picture, and you have to have at least one vaccination in order for you to be able to be inside doors.
I feel like that's a good idea, though.
Sorry?
I feel like that's a good idea.
Well, now that is in place. But what happened is by doing that, and like I said before, a lot of New Yorkers, they haven't taken the vaccination seriously. So it's a big percentage. I believe it's 40% or 60% they haven't been vaccinated.
Oh my God.
The places, restaurants are, most of them, they're breaking the rules right now because there is no way for them to make, the rent, their expenses, the payrolls, if it is getting tougher and tougher in that direction. I mean, I understand that it's very important for people to be vaccinated, but they just don't want to take the vaccine. So, I guess you can, they've been trying to force them in a lot of different ways. Like this way, this is a way for them to force people to vaccinate, to get the vaccination, because if they want to go out, they need to have at least, one vaccination. Did that make sense? You understand
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
So people are turning people away because they don't have the vaccination yet. So
it's like it's political.
Yeah, it's a way that they're using to force people to have the vaccine.
Yeah.
People don't want to do it, and especially in New York. Now they pay you $100 to be vaccinated.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So.
Wow. You answered a lot of questions.
This is a way for them to put pressure on people. So kind of like, you want to go out, get vaccinated, and if you're not vaccinated, stay home. And people wants to go out. You know how New Yorkers are. They don't want to stay. They don't want to stay home. But then the people that is stubborn. Then eventually, I guess people, everybody will be vaccinated. But at this point, the restaurant business is suffering because the ups and downs of I guess the government trying to get everybody being vaccinated.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna ask how Poncor's doing now, I guess, but.
Well, it's gradually, I talked to the people over there, so gradually they're getting there. They're busy on the weekends. They're still having a little bit of separation between tables. They got to remove some tables to give people a little bit more space. It's not near. Sorry about that. It's not near what it was before, because people are still just getting used to the change.
Yeah.
And but it's gonna take just people thought it was going to take longer, but actually, Yang is being recovering faster than everybody thought. But it's still gonna be a good amount of time before it gets back to what it was before. So yeah, so it's at least on a 75% of what it was before. 60-75% depends. Because people wants to go out and people wants to come to New York, and now everything is open, so the theaters and all of that, which attracts people. People start coming into the city. Now you have to remember one thing as well. We depend, the plaza and every hotel. They depend on the tourism. So if the tourists are not here, then hotels and these type of hotels and restaurants in Midtown, they suffer. So a lot of other places like where used to be Yerba Buena, those places are local. So those places are doing great. Those places are doing really good. Because the people that live there, they just obviously don't have to travel. They get everything they want right there. Their favorite restaurant is open, so now they back to to those places to get their favorite drinks and to hang out and so on and so forth. But these places in Midtown, they're based on tourists. So you got that. So it's it's two different. You have two different games there. So until New York is back and running fully. With the tourists, then it will be obviously not be the same as as before.
I didn't even think of that with the plaza.
Oh yeah, the plaza is most of the people they go to the plaza. They're people from Europe. I mean, from all over. I mean, they come from all over. Especially for even the tea, people come from the United States. They're not mainly from New York. Only I will say probably about 10 to 15% that is New Yorkers that they like to go there time to time. But most of the people is from from outside the country and from some other states.
So do you think that the plaza was hit harder than most other restaurants?
Well, it did not get. The plaza is an iconic hotel, so they got hit hard, but they recover faster because everybody wants to go back to the Plaza Hotel because that's an iconic, it's a luxury hotel. You know, all the movies that is being done into that place, people couldn't wait to be there, and so on and so forth. No, there's some other places they got hurt really bad. They're not going to reopen anymore. Some of the hotels they closed down for good. And a lot of those hotels also took advantage of all the situation and closed down because they don't want to deal with the union anymore. So, you know, it's a whole bunch of little, you know, more in detail. When you get to that point, we do another interview about union and all that. Your father hates the union. I hate the union as well. they're not good for business. But a lot of hotels, because most of the hotels in New York, they're union, a lot of hotels did not reopen, and they took advantage of the pandemic to close for good.
Yeah, it's so sad how the restaurants, because like I feel like restaurants don't make that much like profit anyway.
Well, restaurants and the hotel they don't make money.
Yeah.
The thing about hotels having a restaurant, and I don't know if you guys see this yet, is because they have to have a restaurant in order for them to be reviewed by Forbes, who is the one that give the 5 stars to hotels. And every hotel they want it to be a 3, 4, and 5 stars. But as a requirement, they must have a high-end hotel, a high-end restaurant and a low-end restaurant as well in the premises.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's a requirement. You cannot be a 5-star hotel if you don't have a high-end restaurant.
I guess that makes sense, sort of, but.
Yeah, and so they lose money, and most of the time they lose money, or the profit is very little.
Oh yeah, so I feel that's why COVID. It's so sad. Has so many restaurants.
But that has nothing really to do with COVID. That's mostly because they're union employees. The union employees they have a whole contract, and their employees are so expensive that it's not even funny.
Oh.
So because all the rules and regulations. There's a lot of money going out of the window, so it just yeah, unions are really you know they're hurting the business really bad.
I could see why you and my dad are friends.
No, yeah, well, yeah, you put me and your father will probably incinerated the whole union.
Honestly, you answered all my questions and more, so. I don't really have anything else to add, but
listen, if anything come up or anything pops, just write it down, call me, or
email,
text me, or email me anything, and I'll be. You know, I can talk to you about the restaurant industry. I love that's something that I really really love.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Okay, perfect.
Anything I can do for you, just let me know.
Yeah. Oh, you're the best. I just need a. Could you write? Because my teacher needs your signature, I guess. So if you want to, like, forward me a picture of your signature.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
I'm honored that you... Oh, Jesus Christ. That is so cool. All right, I'll sign something on a paper and I'll send it to you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, Jen. Tell your parents and Conrad I say hello, okay?
Okay, I will. Okay. Right. Good luck with the street food thing.
Yeah, I gonna send pictures to your dad so he can show it to you. He's kind of thinking crazy, but I gonna I'm gonna do a yerba buena in a year or two when everything is back to normal. Right now it's like it's a little hectic, but I'll convince your father sooner or later to be my partner in the restaurant.
Okay, good.
He doesn't know it yet, so don't tell him.
Okay, I won't. It'll be a surprise.
And now that you're going to be in the restaurant business, it's even better. So
yeah. Perfect. Okay.
All right. So listen, thank you so much for interviewing me.
No, thank you. Thank you.
I'll send you the signature.
Okay, perfect. All right. Thank you so much.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.